Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina, as we are here for the biggest non-points but cash-rich race weekend of them all, the Winston All-Star Race. But before we get to complete the entire field of cars, we have 5 cars left to fill in the spots for this run, for the running of the Winston Open. Now this is the prelude race to the All-Star race. So this is the last chance. This is the very last chance race to get into the field. The top 5 finishers get to race in the Winston All-Star race, and for the rest of the field, well, better luck until the Coca-Cola 600. So, with all that said, we are on the verge of having the biggest field of cars ever in the Castrol GTX Winston All-Star Race history at 30 cars. Yep, you heard me right. 30 cars in the field. That's counting the past champions of this series and race winners dating back to last season's Winston All-Star, last season's Coca-Cola 600. So with all that said, we're about to determine the final 5 spots in 40 laps around this race for the Winston All-Star Open. The All-Star race itself will be 20 laps. So with that all said, let's get to the field. Starting off for this field on the pole at 192 miles an hour, it is Quentin Moore in the 21 Citgo Ford. He'll be flanked by Zachary Fitzwater, the 29 Hardee's Oldsmobile. Row 2 has Nick Johnson, the 66 Trop Arctic Phillips 66 Pontiac. He'll be alongside John Gilbert in the number 33 Skull Bandit Oldsmobile. Row 3 has Keith Batson, the Ford Credit Ford Quality Care Ford Thunderbird, number 88. He'll be alongside Joshua Sakuli, the number 12 Ray Best's Buick. He's been a pole sitter so far this season, but never a win. Paul Minnick in the number 4 Kodak Films Chevrolet has the inside of the next row down. He'll be alongside Jesse Turner, the number 94 Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. Next row down, Benjamin Miles, the 27 Kodiak Pontiac. He'll be alongside Cole Deaver, the number 7 Xerox Antifreeze Ford. Then it's Amari Stoudemire Jr. in the number 68 Country Time Oldsmobile. He'll be flanked by veteran Michael Norman, the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Next row down has Daniel Olson, number 25 Kodiak Chevrolet. He's inside of row number 7. He'll be alongside Zach Winkle, the number 11 Budweiser Ford. And shotgun in the field, row number 8, Sky Commons, the 22 Maxwell House Ford, will be flanked by Chelsea Bolsa, Quaker State Buick, car 26.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And that is perfect timing, as the command's already been given to fire the engines. 40 laps will determine who gets into the All-Star race and who does not. It's the Winston Open, and we're about to give you and this race is going to be pure excitement. You can pretty much guarantee that. 40 laps of distance. It'll be 20 for the All-Star race, which of course, if you combine those 2 digits, by the way, 40 plus 20, that will give you the distance for this season's Coca-Cola 600, which will be 60 laps this season. So, for the 600, get your snack and a drink of your choice, and prepare for that long race. Right now, the Winston Open is on for 40 laps. The green flag's out, and we are underway in the Winston Open. In the turn number 1 comes car 21 Citgo Ford. That is Quentin Moore. He's out front here. He was in the All-Star race last season by virtue of his win at the Winston win the race at Richmond. Keith Batson, though, look at him. He's a little racy in an 88 car. He's going for the lead coming out of turn number 4. Paul Minnick shoving him in the number 4. And Keith Batson leads lap number 1 here at Charlotte. First lap at 170.116 miles per hour. These cars will turn lap speeds of upwards of over 190 miles per hour around this racetrack. Paul Minnick, the 2nd position. 3rd goes Benjamin Miles. In the 4th goes Amari Stoudemire Jr. in number 68, as he's in a battle with Nick Johnson and Daniel Olson in 25. Here comes Fitzwater and John Gilbert, a pair of Oldsmobiles hooking up. And from the back row already, Sky Commons looking strong in the inside lane, as Paul Minnick will go to the inside of Keith Batson to take the lead in the Winston Open. He's got it at the moment here, and they're lined up 2 by 2. Down the backstretch here, Nick Johnson getting passed by Sky Commons in car 22. Chelsea Bowles in 26, moving through the field as well. She joined alongside Commons on that back row as you're on board Chelsea Bowles' car in 26 to Quaker State Buick. You heard Chelsea had to back off the throttle just a little bit, trying to keep from ramming the back of Nick Johnson's car. Into turn 3, Chelsea not having to back off the throttle just a bit. Right there, here she comes out of turn number 4. About 185 miles an hour down the air start-finish line. 192, 93, 94, 195, 196. I saw 196 miles an hour in blink into turn number 1. I thought I saw 197 actually. That's how fast they go around this racetrack here. Now in the turn number 3 at about 192 miles an hour. Last time Viper Bowles was over 190 miles an hour. But Chelsea Bowles currently riding in the 6th position in car 26. Has had a few good runs this season, and here comes Keith Batson for the lead once again in car 88. On board Keith Batson's car. And you know Keith, even though he's not won a race this season, though he in his comeback season, he would love to get himself into the All-Star race there and join and be part of that big, gigantic 30-car field. Now, Batson has won the All-Stars before, back in season 3. Batson, a die-hard Ford campaigner. Here, it's for him, it's Ford or nothing. And some people here, that's understandable. You got some people that are brand loyal to their. And those kind of people I have no problem with. Obviously, if they want to run Ford or nothing, then or Chevrolet or Dodge or whatever, that's what they desire. So, but Batson, that kind of a racer, obviously, and he is looking pretty strong right now in that quality care machine. Roush Yates horsepower under the hood of that car. And Keith's brother Russ is the crew chief on that machine. But he's got the Chevrolet of Paul Minnick right behind him. Minnick has had some tremendous runs this season, been very impressive in his first half of the season in car number 4, the Kodak Film Chevrolet. He's had an Oldsmobile, however, on the short tracks. We've run this over at Richmond, Martinsville, Bristol, and North Wilkesboro. He will, as I said, run it as well in New Hampshire and Phoenix, as well as all the road courses. Amari Stoudemire Jr. running in number 3 position in car 68. He'd love to give himself a spot in the All-Star race himself, and like I said, you have to be in the top 5. Quentin Moore running at 4. That's now Paul Minnick goes for the lead again in car number 4, but Stoudemire goes to the outside lane. He fights on the outside with the help of Quentin Moore in 21. Daniel Olson underneath in 25. As we come out of turn number 4, Stoudemire not quite clear of Minnick. Or Minnick not quite clear of Stoudemire, as I should say. But Minnick holds off the challenge at the moment here. Now Sky Cummins and Nick Johnson and Zach Winkle enter the mix, as well as Jesse Turner in 94. Turner's best finish was a 3rd that came at Atlanta, I believe, this season. And Quentin Moore stuck on the high side. Here comes Joshua Sakuli, the number 12 Revesis Buick. And Buick will at least have like another car, or possibly both of them, to have all 3 of their cars into the All-Star field. They do have one entered, that is Chris Dobb, as he made the All-Star field by winning the Daytona 500 this season, as well as the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. Zachary Fitzwater, another veteran in the field. Here he's very deserving of an All-Star spot, but if there's anybody in this field deserving an All-Star spot running in his final season ever in NR as a driver, it's this man here, Michael Norman, the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. His best finish this season has been a 4th that came at Rockingham. I think it was a 4th. I'm not sure actually. But Michael Norman, it'd be what a feat that would be for him if he could make the All-Star field on his very last season as a driver especially considering he had not been in the Castrol GTX Cup Series all that much, believe it or not. That car was driven last season by Zach Rogers in the number 3 machine as they come out of turn number 4, or turn number 2 rather. John Gilbert alongside there, but Norman would love to get himself a spot. But there's still quite a bit of racing to go. 14 in the books here, and here comes Fitzwater inside for position on Batson. Paul Minnick leads, but here comes Amari Stoudemire Jr., car 68 to the inside. He'll take the lead, or try to at least. Dips down, and he has the lead. Coming out of turn number 2, but it's a drag race between a pair of yellow cars, the 68 and the 4. Daniel Olson, one of the Hendrick Motorsports cars in the field. 2 of them entered in the All-Star race already, Andrew Perry and Charles Sanford. And here comes Minnick up the high side of the racetrack. Sky Commons dips slow. He'll take position. So too does Zachary Fitzwater. And now here comes Jesse Turner, number 94, to the inside, trying to go for second place. Riding along with Jesse Turner, number 94. Outside lane, he'll follow Daniel Olson as he goes for the lead on Amari Stoudemire Jr. as he falls back in front of the 22 car of Sky Commons. And Keith Batson has fallen off the pace in car 88. Something wrong with that machine. He was leading. He had led for much of the early part of the race. Hoping to get himself back up through the field there. Michael Norman goes inside. 3 wide between he, Cole Deaver, and another veteran, Benjamin Miles. That's another guy who I think who is a very deserving of a all-star field. Miles and Norman both veterans of the NNSCRA for probably ever since Seth Cole started it. Cole Deaver, a rookie, he's had some flashes of brilliance so far this season in that 7 car, including, I believe, a 4th place run on the short track at Martinsville. Quentin Moore going inside. He's got the help from a veteran, Benjamin Miles, and now Zach Winkle goes outside of Nick Johnson, 66. John Gilbert, 33, and there's the caboose on this freight train right there, Joshua Sakuli in car number 12. Riding inside Sakuli's car. About halfway home here in the Winston Open is now hung on the high side is Sky Commons in car number 22. And that's what it's like to ride along it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's like to ride along inside a car at over 190 miles per hour inside Charlotte. And speaking of the town of Charlotte, we do wish everybody well. We do hope everybody's okay after the riot that's been going on in this town. As I was recording this video, there was a riot that took place in Charlotte among protesters, and we do hope everybody was well. We do hope everybody is unscathed from that whole ordeal that happened there. And that whole deal is happening as I'm recording this race. By the way, by the time I put it up, though, I mean, who knows? It all may be over when done with, obviously. But well, actually, I know it should be over when done with by the time I get this race put up. But for all intents and purposes, we do hope the town of Charlotte is well after all what happened. And darn shame what happened to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, too. But we were watching Joshua Sakuli, we was telling you all that there. Sky Commons going to be in the 2nd position, or 4th position, rather. Daniel Olson trying to get underneath Chelsea Bowles, who now tries to go for the lead inside of Jesse Turner in car number 94. Oldsmobile, Buick, and Chevrolet, the top 3 spots here. And actually, here comes Daniel Olson inside here of Chelsea Bowles for a position. That's for 2nd. That 26 car has won some races in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. It's one, I believe, with I think the only driver that's won with that car has been Stephanie Gardner. I think. I'm not really sure. I think Derek Walker won with that car too. But it has. But Chelsea Bowles trying to bring that car to victory lane sometimes before the season ends. She's part of that team. She's part of that super team Johnny Gardner put up. Johnny, by the way, in the All-Star race as well, along with some of his team he's picked out with Kev Shearer, Cole Baker, and a host of others. As here comes Bowles to the inside of Daniel Olson again. Now Paul Minnick in that 4 car. He's back up through the field again, and Joshua Sakuli's not out of this yet. In that 12 car. This time by will be 14 laps to go in the Winston Open. Jesse Turner, boy, would he like to get himself into the All-Star race, into the All-Star race, considering the bad luck he's had in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, part of this season, and of course all last season, except for a few solid runs, including exception of a few solid runs he's had. Lined up single file at the moment here. Here comes Daniel Olson back to the inside for 3rd position. Sakuli hang on to 5th place right now. He's on the bubble. And his bubble may get burst here. Here comes the 22 car. Sky comes. He made it 3 wide between Sakuli, and Minnick. Minnick gets out of the gas, and now here comes Stoudemire, Fitzwater. They're getting into it as well. And now Fitzwater says, hey, this is fun. I want to do 3 wide as well. And he will do 3 wide out of turn number 4. Now Minnick's the one who pays for it. What racing we're seeing here, Charlotte. And this may let the car Zach Winkle get back in the mix now as he's not far behind Paul Minnick. It may let Quentin Moore in there. May let Benjamin Miles, Michael Norman. Those guys, they may still have a shot at this thing of getting in the top 5. Therefore, putting him into the All-Star race. And they have caught that front pack now. But now, however, the top 5 cars have all separated away from themselves at the moment. But Fitzwater's not out of this yet. Neither is Stoudemire. It's now Chelsea Bowles takes the lead. And the laps are clicking off. We'll be down to 10 laps to go. Who's going to be the top 5 that transfers in? 10 laps to go in the Winston Open. And right now you got Buick 1 and 3, maybe 1 and 2 right now, because here comes Sakuli to the inside of Daniel Olson. Olson in the Chevrolet, and now you got Oldsmobile and Ford side by side with Jesse Turner and Sky Commons, and Fitzwater's in this mix here. He'd like to get in this field as well. So will Amari Stoudemire Jr. in number 68, Zach Winkle in number 11. And Budweiser car's not out of this yet. And Paul Minnick's already fallen right behind Michael Norman. They may get a hook. They may get a draft hookup here. Sometimes 8 laps, you never can tell. Top 4 cars have broken away here. Chelsea Bowles out in front, 2nd position. Or now battling for 2nd here, Jesse Turner and Joshua Sakuli. Side by side, here comes Daniel Olson back in this mix here. Zachary Fitzwater's now the 5th place car. Car 29. Stoudemire's in this mix here. And look who's caught that back bunch right there. They're Michael Norman and Paul Minnick. And look at Sakuli go up to the high side and watch him go backwards in that 12 car. Backstretch now as they come down, as they'll be down for 6 laps to go this time by. Norman to the inside, car number 3. Inside of Sky Commons. Keep your eye on that black number 3. Here he may play a factor in this. Who gets in the top 5 and who doesn't? Zach Winkle right now holds that 6th position. He holds 6 right now. He's outside of the field at the moment. And here comes Fitzwater, 3 wide, and he almost went 3 wide for 2nd place. Now Winkle gets into the mix. Now he takes Stoudemire. He takes Turner. Winkle to 4th. Turner's on the bubble that lap by in 5th as they come out of turn number 2. Average speed after 35 laps, 188.626. They come down the backstretch now. 5 to go, 4.5 now. Chelsea Bowles holding them all up at the moment in car 26, the Quaker State Buick. Daniel Olson in 2nd. 3rd is Zachary Fitzwater. 4th is Zach Winkle. 5th, Amari Stoudemire Jr. In car 68, Jesse Turner in 6th. 7th, Joshua Sekuli. 8th is Michael Norman. 9th, Quentin Moore. 10th is the 33 car of John Gilbert. Fitzwater to the inside of the racetrack. Here he comes inside of Olson. Fitzwater to 2nd. 3 laps to go. Here comes Norman. 3 wide inside between he, Turner, and Sekuli. And Jesse Turner goes backwards. Jesse Turner boy saying, can my luck ever change in this series? Backstretch now. Joshua Sekuli outside of Michael Norman. Norman now takes the 11 car of Zach Winkle. 2 laps to go. Norman's now on the bubble in 5th. Michael Norman, who has worked his way up from the back of the pack, but can he hold on to that 5th spot? That's the question. It'll be the white flag next time by. You know the cars behind him are hungry to get into the All-Star race. Chelsea Bowles has the lead. Here comes Olson for 2nd. 3rd is now Fitzwater. 4th is Stoudemire. 5th is Norman. The white flag waves. 1 to go. Who will win the Winston Open? If they keep battling back there, though, it may open it up for Chelsea Bowles. Car 26, the Quaker State Buick. Buick may have 2 cars in the All-Star race here. Chelsea Bowles, car 26 through turns 3 and 4. Battle going on for 2nd between Stoudemire and Olson, but the Winston Open belongs to car 26. Chelsea Bowles wins the Winston Open at Charlotte. And your transfers: Chelsea Bowles, Amari Stoudemire Jr. takes 2nd, Daniel Olson 3rd, and in his final ever season driving in the NNSCRA series, Michael Norman makes the All-Star race, finishing 4th. And the last transfer will be Jesse Turner in number 94, as he just nipped Zachary Fitzwater for 5th. Sit here, but nonetheless, a great race here in the Winston Open. Average speed 188.398. Excuse me. 6th place was Zachary Fitzwater. 7th, John Gilbert. Joshua Sekuli, you gotta feel for him though. He was in the top 5 much of this race, ends up finishing 8th. A heartbreaker for Sekuli. Zach Winkle was 9th. He had a shot at it. Paul Minnick had a shot at it. He comes home in 10th. I mean, nearly everybody in this field had a shot at it. Sky Commons, he fell off, finishing in 15th position. And Keith Batson basically lost the draft, and that's a heartbreaker for Batson in his comeback season. Ends up last, and of course, they'll get that 88 car fixed for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. Quentin Moore comes on 11th. Nick Johnson was 12th. Benjamin Miles 13th. Another veteran missing out on the show. Cole Deaver, Sky Commons, and Keith Batson. All the cars eliminated from making the All-Star show. But the top 5 again that transfers into the race: Chelsea Bowles, Amari Stoudemire Jr., Daniel Olson, Michael Norman, and Jesse Turner all transfer into the Winston Open. And some feel-good stories right there, especially with Norman and Turner. Turner, because of the fact He had not had any luck in this series at all in the first season and a half that he's run here, but maybe his fortunes are taking a turn for the better. But again, our congratulations to Chelsea Bowles. As she wins the Winston All-Star Open, and we will be right back for the Winston All-Star race. And in fact, we will be back for the Winston All-Star race at Charlotte, the main event, which will be 20 laps. Don't you dare turn away to another video. This race will be excellent. Excellent. And we'll be right back for the NNSCRA Castrol GTX Cup Series Winston All-Star race after this.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we are here for the Winston All-Star race after a tremendous race we had in the Winston Open. We are here today, the biggest field ever in Castrol GTX Cup Series Winston All-Star race history. Here in Season 16, we have a monster 30-car field. Yes, count them, 30 cars. Starting in today's this season's Winston All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Going to be a tremendous race as it always is. The All-Star race never disappoints, and we are set for 20 laps of action. Now this race, of course, as we said, involves three criteria to be there, to be in the Winston All-Star race, I should say. And the criteria are: you must be a race winner from going back to as far as last season's Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, and as well as be a previous champion of the Castrol GTX Cup Series and be a top 5 finisher in the Winston Open as well. And you combine all of this, that's why we have 30 cars in the field. We have a boatload of veterans, and we do have a few rookies here and there that have won, especially this season, and that's provided. And all these criteria are provided if you did sign up for this season. If you didn't sign up, then of course tough luck. You're not in the race, obviously, but this is what it's all about for the All-Star race. 20 laps of distance here today, and ladies and gentlemen, here is the starting lineup for the Season 16 Winston All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So that, my friends, is the starting lineup, and the cars are lined up by car number in this race from 1 to 99. So all that said, let's get the command to fire the engines for this race.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
And you hear the roar of the crowd. The air at Charlotte Motor Speedway is electric. 20 laps decides the entire Winston All-Star race. The engines have fired up for this, the season 16 All-Star race. Trent Dunham, you see on the pole for this event. He got in this race by winning at Darlington in the Southern 500. Dylan Young on the outside, he got in by winning a race, I think, last season, as well as his win at Rockingham. There's one of the sensations, the man who got in by winning the AC Delco 400, Andrew Perry. Michael Norman, in his final season of driving in NNSCRA competition. He won't be going away completely, but he is going away as a driver. He will still be there as a car owner, as well as a few other things, but they're all there. Young, Dunham, Shelton, Seth Cole, Matthews, Poteet, you name it, they're in there. As well as a few rookies have set in this race here. So here we are. Oldsmobile and Ford leads the field for the 500. Then you got all Chevrolet in the second row, and then Ford and Buick on the third row. And so on down the line. Pace car up on the pit road. And this is it. The field can say for 20 laps of racing, it's all down to this. The green flag waves, and we are underway, and the Winston All-Star Race is on. Which one of these 30 drivers will take home the bragging rights in this race here? It's no points, just all pride at stake at Charlotte. Trent Dunham jumps out in front into second now. Going for the lead comes Michael Norman, car number 3. Here comes Andrew Perry. He's going to make a 3 wide in the third turn. He's got the shove from the 6th car of John Arndt, who got in this race by winning the Coca-Cola 600 last season at Charlotte. He has not scored a victory ever since, but he has been close a couple times. Now Arndt goes for the lead with the help of Jessica Shelton, the 3-time champion. That's how she's in the All-Star race. Lap speeds here should be over 185, 190 miles per hour on this racetrack. We saw fast racing in the All-Star Open. Jeremy Jones, he got in this race by winning this last season's second race at Dover. And there is the season 6 champion. That's how he's in. Dalton Day, the only I think a 3-time, maybe a 4-time winner of this race. Dalton Day is usually the strong candidate to win, usually in this race here. Here he is, car number 20. He got into this race by being the season 6 champion of this series. John Arndt leads the field. Have a couple of special schemes here for this race. Johnny Gardner in the 1990 Davey Allison. Of course, we've seen it run on short tracks this season, as well as another scheme that's usually a short track scheme. The car of Kyle Matthews in the Coors Light Silver Bullet. There he is in the back of the pack. Trent Dunham, the pole sitter, has fallen back a little bit. Charles Sanford diving underneath. Cole Baker's in there. Chelsea Bowles, who won the Winston Open this season. She's in this mix. Osborne. And there is Matthews in the Coors Light Silver Bullet scheme. This is one of those races. It's 20 laps. It's a short race, and so that means no time to dilly-dally. Just go for it. Daniel Olson, who came in this race who came in the Winston Open, a strong second place showing in that race. And here he is running second right now in car 25. Johnny Gardner back there in third. Shelton in fourth. Battle for fifth. Dalton Day and Joshua Collard going at it. Chris Dollerton, car 55. He's in this race by being the season 10 champion of this series. Kev Shearer, he got in this race by winning at North Wilkesboro last season in the Holly Farms 400. Amari Stoudemire Jr., one of the transfers from the Winston Open. He's in this race by virtue of that. Just so many names to talk about. 30 cars, as we said, the biggest field ever for an all-star race in the Castrol I think not just in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, but also in any series at all. Chris Dollerton outside of Amari Stoudemire Jr. Here comes Zed Weinstein pushing Levi McIntyre, who by being the highest car number started dead last. You're on board Levi McIntyre's car. As you watch Jessica Shelton trying to go for the lead now on John Arndt just up ahead. And as they always say, the night time is the right time, and that is certainly the truth here at Charlotte. Front 5 cars, single file now. Collard, I see him in 4th position. Now front 6 is single file with Dollarton in 6th position. And here comes Shelton to the inside for the lead. She's going for it on Arndt. And already 8 laps have been completed. 12 laps remain in the Winston All-Star race. Here comes Johnny Gardner. He's never won this All-Star race before, neither. Joshua Collard, I'm not sure if Collard's won this race before. Here comes, and Amari Stoudemire Jr., he's surprising everybody in that 68 car. He might pull off what Ryan George did last season, and that's becoming winning this race as a rookie. Not only as a rookie, but also as a All-Star Open transfer. Jeremy Jones inside car number 14, the Copenhagen Oldsmobile. Ten laps in the books, 10 laps to go in the Winston. Stoudemire inside of Collard, that's for 2nd place. Ford in 1st, Oldsmobile and Pontiac battling for 2nd, and an Oldsmobile in 4th, and a Ford in running in 5th. And here comes Levi McIntyre closing on Jeremy Jones. Levi's got his buddy Seth Cole right behind him in car 52, the president of the NNSCRA. Here comes Chris Dollarton and Kev Shearer. They're making a move, they're making a go of it. 3 wide, battling for, that's for 4th spot. Collard has to back out of the accelerator. Here comes Cole inside of McIntyre. Dollarton's in this mix. Kev Shearer. Chelsea Bowles, who won the All-Star Open. Here, can she possibly pull off the sweep? Average speed after 12 laps, 187.958 miles per hour. Now it's jumped up to over 188 miles per hour now. Jeremy Jones inside for the number 2 spot, inside of Stoudemire. And here comes 52, Seth Cole. Remember the last time we were at Charlotte? Remember the last time he was at Charlotte for the Castrol GTX Cup Series? He won the NASCAR on Speed 500. He may have the same setup he had in that Casey Mears special in that race. Here he comes 3 wide for 2nd place inside of Stoudemire and Jones. And he's got Kev Shearer shoving him in 57. Shearer won the last point stop in the tour at Richmond. And here comes Shearer for the 2nd spot. He's got Chelsea Bowles in there. And where did 17 Joshua Osborne come from? Osborne to the 5th spot. And all this is helping Johnny Gardner up there. He's saying, go ahead, battle back there, guys. I'm going to take off and try to win this thing. And we're already down to 6 laps to go in this race. This race has flown by very, very fast. Chelsea Bowles to 2nd position. Johnny Gardner out in front. Bowles in 2nd spot. 3rd is Osborne as he goes inside of Kev Shearer for the number 3 spot. John Arndt, who led much of this race, he's battling now for 4th. Zed Weinstein up in this mix now. He gets by Shearer. Levi McIntyre, Joshua Collard, 43 car. He's in this mix now. Dawson Wise in 18. He's up in a high side now. Stoudemire back in this mix, and now Jonathan Zorlin begins to show some muscle in that 71 car. He and Matt Dalio. Charles Sanford, Dylan Young, and Michael Norman showed that between Cole Baker and Chris Dollarton. Dylan Poteet has won his All-Service before him as well in 31. And he's got Kyle Matthews shoving him in number 42. Can these guys from the back maybe possibly make a go of it in these final fields? And Chelsea Bowles takes the lead in car 26. Chelsea Bowles takes the lead. Here comes John Arndt going to try to make a move. John Arndt the 2nd. Can he pass Bowles? Or will Bowles hold off and win both the Open and the All-Star race? I don't think it's ever happened before in this series before. I don't know. I know Ryan George was a transfer and didn't win the Open, and still came back to win the All-Star race. But look at John Arndt in that 6 car. He's right there. Roush Yates horsepower. Underneath the hood of that Valvoline Ford, it'll be the white flag next time by. Levi McIntyre's not out of this in that 99 car. Can he make it a 3-car battle for the win? Chelsea Bowles, car 26 out in front. White flag waves. 3 cars shoot out to the side. All 1 lap remaining. Here comes Arndt to the inside. John Arndt, car number 6. He's got McIntyre shoving him. Down the backstretch now, McIntyre, is he going to try to make it 3 wide in turn 3? No action yet from the 99 car. John Arndt, car number 6 out in front. The Valvoline Ford, McIntyre tries to close in, but it's not going to happen. The number 6 Valvoline Ford, John Arndt, wins the Season 16 Castrol GTX Cup Series Winston All-Star Race. Just a tremendous finish. Car number 6, John Arndt, takes home the victory in the Winston All-Star Race at Charlotte. Holding off Levi McIntyre to take the win. 20 laps the distance of this whole race. And boy, was it all worth it. They averaged 187.787 miles per hour. And what a finish. John Arndt takes home his first Winston All-Star Race victory. At the same track, he got his first Castrol GTX Cup Series triumph last season in the Coca-Cola 600. And that is it here. John Arndt wins the race. Second was Levi McIntyre. Rookie Dawson Wise ends up finishing 3rd. Chelsea Bowles, a heartbreaker for her, comes home in 4th. Jonathan Zorlin 5th. Amari Stoudemire Jr. 6th. 7th was Zed Weinstein. 8th was Joshua Osborne. 9th, Dylan Young. Jeremy Jones 10th. Charles Sanford comes home in 11th. Matt Dalio ends up 12th. Joshua Collard 13th. Kyle Matthews 14th. 15th was JT Bryant. Kev Shear 16th. 17th was Dalton Day. Seth Cole 18th. Johnny Gardner 19th. And Jesse Turner, one of the transfers, ends up in 20th position. Cole Baker 21st. 22nd, Dylan Poteet. Ryan George 23rd. 24th, Michael Norman. 25th was Trent Dunham. 26th, Chris Dodd. 27th, Jessica Shelton. 28th, Chris Dollarton. 29th, Daniel Olson. And Andrew Perry ends up in last place in the Winston All-Star Race at Charlotte. And what a great race it was. Caution-free in both the Open and the All-Star Race. That's almost never happened before at Charlotte. So this version looks like it's maybe a keeper for the 600, which will be 60 laps in this race. So like I said, get your snack and a drink of your choice to enjoy that race, because it's going to be a long one for the Coca-Cola 600, no question about it. So with all that said, our congratulations once again to John Arndt as he takes home his first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series Winston All-Star Race victory for Season 16, holding off one of the best in Levi McIntyre to take home the title, as a few veterans have ended up in the top 10 here. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA channel here by clicking the red button below for NR 2003 races, gaming, and whatever else Seth Cole, the president of the NNSCRA, desires to put up there. So with all that said, we'll see you in the Coca-Cola 600. Until then, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 5 years of offline racing at its best.